Hello Star Wars fans, thought I'd try something different today with my review of the Phantom Menace Darth Maul VC86 reissue figure with photoreal paint application. Stick around and we'll take a closer look at this action figure for you. Hello Star Wars YouTube fans, thank you for visiting my channel today, Johnny Star Wars. If you are new here today, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date for future Star Wars content. If you are an existing subscriber, many thanks for subscribing and many thanks for watching today. I'm not a big collector of action figures from the prequel trilogy of films. There are a few exceptions though, and one of them is Darth Maul. To me, he's a bit like Boba Fett from the original trilogy, a badass villain that saw limited screen time and got dispatched a little bit before his time perhaps. Same with Darth Maul. Ideally I would have liked to have seen him progress into maybe the second film in the prequel trilogy, before he met his demise as such. We have also seen Darth Maul crop up in the Clone Wars, so we've got quite a bit of story about how he survived and what he later went on to become. We also saw him in the animated show Star Wars Rebels, and we have seen him in Solo, and I'm pretty certain that we're going to see him crop up in the Kenobi live action TV show at some point. So with that said, we just have again a closer look at the card, and then we'll get this figure out and have a closer look at the figure. So again, really happy with the image they've chosen for this card back. The figure looks good inside the bubble. On the reverse of the card we have the new wave of figures, and then we've got the legal mumbo jumbo at the bottom of the card there. So I have to say 2020 has been a very dry year for new releases from Hasbro for the vintage collection, particularly for the original trilogy line of action figures. We seem to have got loads of reissues. The only noticeable exceptions I can think of just off my head, which I have got, is the Power Droid and the Luke Stormtrooper action figure. Both great figures, but being the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, one would imagine that we might have got a reissue or an update, I should say, of Lando, of Lobot, and also the Ugnaughts to go with the Carbon Freeze chamber playset. But alas, I don't know if it's a COVID thing, but seem to have seen a lot of releases for the 6-inch Black Series, but the 3.75-inch action line of figures, as I say, is somewhat disappointing this year and a little bit dry. With that said, Hasbro saved me loads of money this year, so I was looking around at some other figures to buy, and one that did catch my eye was the Darth Maul from the Phantom Menace, which again is a reissue but with updated photoreal paint application to the face. So I took the plunge and thought I'd buy this figure. I'll give you guys a closer look at that in a minute. Just off the bat, looks a great action figure on the card. The card image is excellent. The figure itself looks really nice in the bubble. This time round I believe we've got the accessories laid out slightly different, and the hood has been set aside from the head just to show that amazing face sculpt on this action figure. So I've got some plans for this figure. I will be doing a few customs, and I've got a little project in mind as well for this action figure, which I'll share with you in another video a little bit down the road. So let's take a look at this figure and see what we got. So I've carefully removed the figure from the bubble now. We'll have a closer look at the contents of this action figure. So we've got this leaflet. I don't know what that crap is, so we'll get rid of that. Having a look at the figure itself, so it's nicely packed in this bubble. We have got his macro binoculars down the bottom. We have an unignited lightsaber. We have an ignited lightsaber which does come apart at the middle, so that recreates the scene from the film. And then we also have his plastic hood, which is displayed separate from the action figure on this occasion, so it's quite nicely packaged. We'll get him out and have a close look at things. So I finally got these accessories out of the packaging. We'll have a closer look at the accessories first and then take a look at the action figure itself. So first of all, we've got these macro binoculars. Got some quite nice detail on these. It does appear just to be a plain moulded plastic, so there's no weathering or paint application to that as far as I can see. But that's an easy fix. That's something that I might do with this particular figure. We also have a unignited lightsaber. So this has got a little peg on it as well, which fits into the side of the action figure. I've got some nice detail on that again. Does appear just to be one colour again, so no paint apps on that. So I might just cut a little of the red buttons and perhaps give it a dry brush just to make some of the detail pop on that. So we've got the unignited lightsaber, and then we have the ignited lightsaber as such. So again, nice detail on this. Just appears again to be just one colour. Again, might be worth a little bit of a mod. I did hear some people comment that the lightsaber blade on these is often a little bit too short. I haven't really got an opinion on that just at the moment, but let me know in the comments if that is the case. That might be an easy remedy as well. And also the colour itself might be slightly better with more of a translucent red colour, so that might be something that I might do a modification on at some point. And then the good thing about this saber as well, it does come apart in the middle to show the break as per the film. But all in all, quite pleased with that. That looks very nice, some nice detail on that. I was a little bit concerned that it might be a little bit oversized in terms of the width of the lightsaber hilt itself. So again, yet to sort of form a definitive opinion on that, but that might be something I look at a little bit down the road. Maybe if there's a version out there that is a little bit slimmer, and that might be something I might consider swapping out for this figure. But as it is, it looks pretty good to me. So one thing I really like about this figure, which sets it apart from a lot of other figures, is the articulation. So this particular Darth Maul figure has the ball joint articulation at the hips, so that really allows for some dynamic poses. So for example, here we got him set up on a stand, and he's sort of in a nice fighting stance as such. I did notice whilst just trying to set this figure up for this particular picture that the ball joints, particularly at the elbows, are extremely tight, and then the forearms are on a peg. So you have to be really careful with that. Ideally, what you want to be doing is taking off the soft goods and popping them in some boiling water just to set them joints free, so that when you do pose the figure, you're not putting any stress on those very small tiny ball joints and pegs, because I would believe they'd be very easy to snap if not paying too much attention. But other than that, this is an amazing action figure. Soft goods look really good. I'm not a big fan of mixed soft goods. So for example, on this particular figure, the hood is a plastic, and then the robes are a mixture of soft goods and plastic. So I'm normally one that if it's a cape, then you know, soft goods is great, but sometimes when they mix and match them, it doesn't always work so well, in my opinion. And I think there are other figures as well which soft goods don't look so good. So for example, we had the 5 points of articulation Emperor fairly recently, and to me that's the definitive Emperor figure without the need for soft goods. So soft goods works good in some cases, but not always. But this one looks pretty good. I'll probably be doing a update on this figure with another robe. This particular one, if we look, it's got quite a lot of fraying to the edges. It looks good in the fact that it sort of shows some sort of flow of movement, but if you look at some of the detail around the arms, etc., it looks as if he's been dragged through a bit of a hedge backwards. So I've got another Darth Maul figure which I'm going to be looking at, maybe swapping out a few parts just to see if we can push this particular figure a little bit further in terms of the way it looks, and try and get as close as we can to the sort of definitive Darth Maul figure. So just have a quick look at the figure off this peg. So again, it's got all the articulation you'd ever want. I have heard a few people mention about the range of movement on the head is quite limited, so that might be something I investigate as well. Maybe might need to get the old Dremel out just to see if we can get a bit more movement, range of movement in the sort of looking forward and back on the head movement there. One other thing I have noticed taking this figure out of the packaging as well is that the unignited lightsaber hilt affixes to his left side, when in fact that should actually be his right side. And there is a little bit of debate about which way round his belt should go. I've looked at a few different pictures online, and depending on the release of the figure, some pictures seem to suggest the belt is on the wrong way round, whereas other more recent images of Darth Maul appear to show the belt in this configuration, which is correct. However, his unignited lightsaber hilt should definitely be on the right hand side of this figure. As you can also see, it does hang forward and looks rather odd to me. That's because of the soft goods and the hard good plastic above the waist belt, which means this can't hang down in a more vertical position. So it might be worth seeing if we can modify that in some shape or form. Certainly it'd be easy to, with a micro drill, insert a little hole so the saber hangs on the correct side, but I still think it's going to suffer from that awkward angle. I think if you're going to display this figure anyway, you probably want it in a more dynamic pose, something like that anyway, so maybe it's not too important after all. But overall, this is a fantastic figure. If you've not got it, I'd highly recommend picking this up, particularly while it's available at retail, so you're not going to be paying daft prices on the secondary market for it. The photoreal paint application on the face, from my point of view, looks really good. The detail around the sort of face and the horns on that head looks very good to me. I still think you could push this figure a little bit further in terms of getting a definitive version of Darth Maul. So that's something that I'm going to give some consideration to, and see if we can get this figure a little bit better looking overall. But certainly one worthy of picking up if you've not got it already. As always, love to hear your thoughts and comments below. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. These videos take quite a lot of time to put together. as any YouTuber would tell you. So please hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So take care, guys, and see you soon.